Hello, readers. My name is Sammarko Lightbourne, and I hail from the Bahamas. I am an MFA student from the University of the West Indies. It is a pleasure to be reading for Campus Literature Week, and here is a dose of some teen angst, and it's an excerpt from a short story entitled "The Price of Being Rapping at the Door with a Lifeline." My brain was chugging like an overloaded washer as I scrambled for a proper answer to Brielle's "Do you think I'm pretty?" question. The air grating K-pop rendition of Salt and Pepper's Push It on loop in the background wasn't helping. Can it'd be faster. No shame in getting help, she said in the voice of a doting mother. I never said there was. I nodded fervently before sliding into a pair of cargo shorts. Her eyes were like needles at my back. Her presence made me so clumsy that twice the pants snagged on the left prosthetic leg. I shuffled along the narrow corridor, nearly bumping into an end table as I felt my way through the hazy room. It brightened as suddenly as lightning against a dark sky when I pulled open the blinds. From the window's view was a sensibly dressed couple, both holding the hands of a little girl who found herself with a fistful of pamphlets. The usual weekend suspects, I groaned. I couldn't go the pretend not to be home route, and I didn't want that guilt juju on my mind anyway, so I opened the door. Hello, young man, beamed the gentleman in an accent I couldn't quite place. The lady I assumed was his wife gave me a scathing look up and down. The lady I assumed was his wife gave me a scathing look up and down my bare chest and turned her daughter away. You would think I was Judas Iscariot with abs. Afternoon, I replied. Oh, you have something on your neck. Just there, he pointed out. I dabbed the fluffy white cream and licked it lazy with my tongue. Ah, some candy, I explained. Thank God it was candy, I said. Brielle had wanted to try something with whipped cream. I was lactose intolerant on top of being handicapped, so I wasn't too keen. Eventually, she weighed me down. Anything to get her to stop talking about what houses, powers, and principalities ruled my life as a Pisces man. The woman thrusted a bundle of leaflets toward me so quickly that I had to take them. Among them was a door hanger promising to ward off thieves in the Holy Father's name, and a bumper sticker that said, Drive in faith, park in his protection. I wonder if the Pope will pay my fine if I get ticketed while rocking this. When the man spoke again, it was in the solemn tone of a detective making inquiries about a missing person. Hello, sir. Does Jesus Christ dwell in this house? Not
Definitely
without
not
paying
since
bills,
like
he
Connor.
doesn't. The couple stared back, with their mouths gaping. No, I said firmly. They were starting to turn away when the little girl piped up. You can still buy a t-shirt from the church for a Bible retreat, she said. I felt joyless watching her. She could be climbing trees or skipping rocks, reading books or making stuffed animals talk to each other. I cut my eyes at the parents. Cute kid, I muttered, after I scrounged up 25 bucks and a little hustler. In 2 weeks, I would be the proud owner of a medium-sized blue t-shirt that read, Let me be your Boaz. I had my eye on the Mary as my homegirl vest, but it was sold out. That took long. Who was it? Brielle wanted to know when I sank back in the bed. She trailed her hands along the blue and silver metalwork of my prosthetic, which the kids at school called my cyborg leg. The plumber. I forgot he had to come and change some pipes. I stalled him, but he'll be back in 30. Sorry, we have to cut this short. I was surprised at how easy it took to shepherd her along, but I suspect it had something to do with throwing out random astrology questions. And the whole thing was almost blunder free until she took off her goldfish necklace and put it around my neck, her eyes suddenly wide and churning like an ocean. Kwame, it was just so special, just like Romeo and Juliet. It was not my place to correct her. I hobbled around the house, cleansing it of any evidence of having a visitor over. With the last of the blinds drawn open, I threw myself face front on the lumpy sofa. Moments later, the old man shuffled in with his fishing reel and a bucket still splashing with his catch. Quam, he started. I hated that pet name. Seriously, was excommuting the E really supposed to be some sign of endearment? I just had the most interesting chat with Miss Butler, he went on. I sat up as straight as a spear. Forgive her, her sight is going, she says, but she could have sworn that a young lady was at this house for most of the morning. In fact, let me see. Arrived 8:40, left at 12:08. My dad was in full headmaster mode now as he crumpled the yellow post-it. That nosy, wicked old. My father stopped me with the point of a finger. I am not doing this again, he said. In fact, that's all he kept saying for the most part of an hour, while he made me stand in the doorway of my room. I heard it as a chant, with every dresser drawer he upended, with every book he shaked loose, and with every pants pocket his fleshy fingers poked at. I was being honest, but he didn't hear me. Sorry, a girl from school that I like. I'm not on drugs and no one was bringing me any, I said feebly. Sneaking around people's house on this good Sunday? Let me catch another supply in his house. Go to bed, he said in the aftermath of his helicopter parent hurricane. I fell limp on the stripped mattress, cursing him under my breath. Who could blame him, though? Came a snaring voice from deep inside. Fine. I'd gone to rehab twice, once for alcohol poisoning, twice in the 10th grade, and and for taking oxy and crashing a dinghy into a houseboat in Georgetown. The accident had cost me my leg. There were talks of sending me to a boarding school for addicts, which sounds like a terrible business to go into if you ask me, but the psychiatrist denounced it was a horrible idea. He claimed I was traumatized and guilt ridden, and that would further stunt my emotional growth. Well, something like that. I wasn't too hard on him calling me out of my name, but whatever it took to stay. The sounds of cutlery and the low tones of an argument woke me up. It was Sunday, so I knew it would be my cousin Brian and my father's younger sister. It was tradition. The words flew down the corridor like loosed arrows, stabbing the walls of my bedroom unobstructed. That's because it locked the door. Punishment for having my stomach pumped the second time. You carry him too hard. Well, did you find anything? See? Stay right there with your heavy handed approach. What don't bend breaks. Nurture him. Being a touch more loving wouldn't kill you, Aunt Maeve scolded. More? More loving? That's all I can spare for him. Him who killed his mother coming into this world? A plate breaked. I'll take the bus, I announced early the next morning. I'll take the bus, I announced early the next morning. My dad made a gruff noise, filled his thermos with coffee, and slid something across the table to me. I turned the silver mobile in my hands, brows furrowed. I didn't even realize he had taken it. I was still pretending to not be in a rush by scanning the newspaper leisurely when he pulled out of the driveway. And now I needed to power walk to get to the bus route on Darlene's highway. Cutting through the suburban houses was fastest. When I passed Miss Butler's house, my body stiffened, and every exhale felt hotter than the last. The old witch was shouting at a game show. There was a golden brown pie in the window cooling that smelled deliciously of cherries. I took it. Her filthy tabby cat came hissing as I made for the hedges. But one swift and near bull's-eye kick sent it scampering so quickly into the bushes that I thought it must on the steps of Paradise Bay Academy. Students fluttered like butterflies in their turquoise blazers and golden pants and skirts. I made a beeline for the admin's office and dropped the cherry pie on the desk. The secretary station was crowded with gifts. Apparently, it was Teachers' Appreciation Day or some shit. Oh, Mr. Musgrove, I'm adding 2 merits to your file, chimed Miss Pratt. In homeroom, Franco Vega slid in the seat beside me, punching my arm, looking at me expectantly, while he tugged a stray dreadlock. I nodded. My man, finally dropped his balls. I want to hear everything. Leave out the lovey-dovey stuff. Hashtag slam like a car door, Franco said, offering a high five. Gentlemen, I am only trying to do roll call here, snapped Miss Gray. Mr. Vega, I hope you know your work like you know Mr. Musgrove's face. I expect you both to be studying for the Shakespeare quiz. I expect you both to be studying for the Shakespeare quiz you have for me for fifth period and not interrupting my homeroom. The class sniggered. Miss Gray, you implying something going on between me and Home Skillet here? Anyway, we practice in dread. I got Shakespeare down pat, Franco replied. Let's hear a sonnet then, Miss Gray challenged. Franco gaped at her before rubbing a hand across his brow. The whole class turned in their seats, ahead, faces awash, but she cast me a look that could curdle milk. Um, uh, doth thou balls hangeth low in summer, fine wenches be bended. Detention, Miss Gray said. All I could do after first bell was give Franco an unapologetic. All I could do after first bell was give Franco an apologetic look. The last place I needed to end up was in my dad's office for him to have the fit. I got off by the skin of my teeth by reciting Sonnet 18.